Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome to the channel. I am B-Hub and today we're going to do a guide on Golden Reaper. I'm really excited about this video. I did a shard summoning video a couple of days back and a lot of you saw me pull my Golden Reaper and you asked for me to do a guide, and because we had that double chance of the void summoning, I know a lot of you also out there have pulled Golden Reapers as well. I've seen it online, I've seen it on Reddit and things like that. So I'm going to do a Golden Reaper guide today. I also am going to do a Lightsworn guide. That's going to be coming in a couple of days because I pulled Lightsworn in the same video that I pulled Golden Reaper. And I'm excited about that one too. So without any further ado, let's talk about Golden Reaper. So is Golden Reaper actually any good? Yes she is. I think she excels in a couple of areas. Today we're going to talk about Arena, where I think she's the best at, and we're also going to do a little clan boss footage and talk about clan boss as well, because I think she can be used on your team there, and I'll show you how to do that. So what does she actually do? Well, Harvest of Blood is her A1, her default skill. It attacks one enemy. If you level it up, has a 50% chance of decreasing the cooldown of one of a random ally's skills by one turn. So let me break this down to you because it might not be super clear, but as far as I can tell, this is how it works. If you win the 50% chance, she will randomly pick an ally. Then if that ally has any skills on cooldown, it'll reduce one of them by one turn. This means that even if you win the 50% chance, you also have to get lucky and her randomly pick an ally that does have a skill on cooldown. So if she picks an ally with no skills on cooldown, this ability, as far as I can tell, won't actually do anything other than its regular damage, of course. So take that. You're going to want to have your other allies, you want to use their cooldown so that she can reduce them. Alright, Maelstrom is a pretty good ability. Attacks all enemies. Has a 50% chance, you can level it up to 75, of placing a 50% decrease attack. That's the good one on an enemy for 2 turns. Decreases the turn meter of each target by 20% if they're not under decrease attack debuff. That's really good too. Anytime that you can decrease turn meters, that's solid. That's a good ability. This word that I cannot pronounce places a 30% speed buff on all allies for 2 turns and boosts their turn meter by 20%. This is really why Golden Reaper excels in Arena. And that's why another reason you can use her on Clan Boss is because this increased speed buff is really good, and the increase in turn meter is also really good. This is going to help you go first in Arena, and this is what's going to help you go more frequently in Clan Boss. So those are her abilities. They're very good abilities. She has a very good kit, and now let's figure out how do we use it. Alright, so up first, we're going to check out how does Golden Reaper do in Arena. Now, how we're going to do this, I'm going to pull up a video. I'll show you some footage of me kind of just going down the list and knocking some teams down. So, why is Golden Reaper on your Arena team? The answer to that is very simple. She is there to go first. She's going to go first. She's going to boost the turn meter of all your team, and she's going to give them an increased speed buff, which is going to really help you as well. From there, your team is just going to have to make a composition and figure out what is your team designed to do. For me, I'm just trying to get rid of these guys. I want to decrease their turn meter. I'm going to increase my turn meter, and then I want to hit them with some good damage, and that's how I'm going to win my fights. Martyr is there to take care of any kind of pesky people with her ability to provoke everybody. And Bogwalker is going to decrease their turn meters and do damage, and Skullcrown is going to nuke everybody. And that's really just kind of how my Arena team runs. And so there's always a spot on my Arena team for a hero who is going to go incredibly fast and to boost the turn meter of my team. Golden Reaper is one of the better heroes at that. Maybe not, she's not the best hero, but she's definitely really good at it. There are a couple of heroes who are better than her. I would say Arbiter, Lysandra, and I think Seeker as well, because Seeker boosts the turn meter by 30%. But Golden Reaper, really good at what she does. She can win you a ton of fights, because I think one of the things that we've all noticed about Arena, it is largely a speed check. It really comes down to who actually goes first. And Golden Reaper has the potential to do that. Her base speed is 111. That's her natural just base speed without any gear. She has 111 speed. To put that in perspective, other heroes like Lysandra and Arbiter, they have base speed of 110. I'm not really sure how many heroes in this game actually have a higher speed. I know Blind Seer has a 115, but man, Golden Reaper is one of the fastest natural heroes in the entire game, which makes her easier to get gear for, because I mean, obviously like a Seeker is going to be probably about 8 points slower than that, I think, on his natural speed. So that's an 8-point advantage already for Reaper in the contest of who goes first. And that's really how you're going to gear her. She's not here to do a ton of damage or anything like that. Really what your Golden Reaper is here for is to go first. So you're going to see this in a second when I pull up the gear, but you're going to notice that my gear is kind of all over the place as far as stats go. I'm going to fast forward to the end real quick so that you can kind of see this Hegemon fight. We kind of win this because he misses the block cooldown on both of these. And that's really going to help us win this fight. But it's a fun fight, so you can watch it. But you're going to see that my gear is kind of all over the place, right? My gloves are going to be attack percentage gloves. I'm pretty sure the chest is a defense percentage chest. And, you know, there's really no rhyme or reason to it other than the fact that it's really the fastest gear that I had available for her to wear, because that is what she's here for. Now, obviously, you can build yours better if you have better gear, but you don't need to focus on like which main stat do I need on maybe my gloves or my chest. The boots, you obviously want speed boots. That's definitely what you're shooting for. So 100% go with those. But for maybe some of your other stuff, you're really focusing on your speed, and that's the substat that you want on your gear as well. So we go on to win this fight right here, but it was just fun. I like fighting Hegemon and trying to see if I can win that fight and how well they're built. Now let's go to the gear. I'll show you the gear that I had on her at the time of this run. And I'm going to go through and I'll click through each and every one of these. But as you can see, it's going to be like speed right here. Speed plus 13. Shield, it's going to be speed, I think, plus 15. Yep. Now, as you see when I get to the gloves, it's going to be attack percentage gloves. I didn't even level up all the way because it has 16 speed on it. The chest, defense, 4-star, not great, but it's the fastest chest that I had. And then the boots are going to be 40 boots, which obviously 45 is better. And the entire thing, oh, even the banner, I went with speed. Like this banner defense is not what I want, but it had the fastest speed on it, which brings my total speed to 279. So my Golden Reaper was flying, going super fast. A really, really hard to outspeed. Not impossible, but pretty solid. So that's really what you want. You also are going to want to have an entire, like all your set is going to be speed set because you want those boosts from the sets as well. So now we're going to take a look at her masteries and see how those are built, and then we'll get into Clan Boss here in a second. Alright, so by going over the masteries for Golden Reaper, I think it'll be a good segue into the Clan Boss portion of this, because the way that I have her masteries built is kind of like a hybrid hero. She is not specifically geared for Arena, and she's not specifically kind of geared for Clan Boss in this setup, but I think it's a good hybrid of both because I plan on using her for both. And a lot of you might be in that same, boat as well, where you're like, well, I want to use her for Arena, but I also want to use her for Clan Boss. And so this might be a good setup for you. If you want to go specifically one or the other, Clan Boss, this is definitely the tree that you want right here on the offense for Clan Boss. If you go Arena, you're going to want to take some different stuff over here. You're probably going to want to take some of these things that increase the damage just a little bit and kind of go with some of those different routes there. But you definitely, I think you still want this War Master ability. I think that's going to be the best one that you can get for her for the final mastery. Now the support tree, the way that we built her for Clan Boss was we really wanted to get lasting gifts, obviously. You're going to want this regardless of where you use her. Lasting gifts is going to be great. It has the opportunity to extend the duration of any buff, and that's going to be the increased speed buff. You want that to be increased. Now I will move myself out of the way here so you can get a good look at these as well. Now Master Hexer is going to be, this is on here specifically really for the Clan Boss, because she does have the ability to put a 50% decrease attack on the Clan Boss, which is really solid. That can bail you out of a lot of situations, and so having the ability to extend that is always handy to have. Now we went with Cycle of Magic and with Lore of Steel. One, so we can get both of these, but Lore of Steel you're definitely going to want because you're going to want to increase those speed sets on her, and Lore of Steel will do that. Cycle of Magic is okay, gives you an opportunity, but it's never like, the most consistent. It's only a 5% chance of reducing a cooldown. On these, we went with the Rapid Response and the Arcane, whatever that word is. They both have a 30% chance of increasing the turn meter whenever a debuff or a buff cast by this champion expires. So that gives you opportunities for her to go a little bit faster. Exalted Death we used to get these two, just to have access to both of them, and we went with the accuracy for the pinpoint accuracy. And that's really going to be what the like a good hybrid build I think for you will be. For this, I was able to use her in arena and I was able to use her in clan boss with no problems, but I think you could be more specific if you wanted to. So as we transition over to clan boss, I want to show you the gear that I used for that. I did switch up her gear a little bit. I don't run a healer on my team, so I put her in the lifesteal set so she can heal herself. Now, I made a couple of changes here. One is I brought her accuracy up. It's up to a 173. I thought that was important because I wanted to use her ability, or decreased attack ability, to bail me out if I needed it. To do that, I used an accuracy banner, which is a different banner, and I used an amulet that had accuracy on it as well. Now, one thing to notice here is I am running a defense percentage chest and defense percentage gloves. And I actually don't recommend that you do that. What I recommend that you would do is run one defense percentage and the other one run HP percentage. In addition, Golden Reaper also has a really good HP base stat, and you want to take advantage of that. So use an HP percentage chest or gloves to take advantage of that, because her defense, although it's not the worst, is still kind of low. So I think that's probably the best way that you can run her. Top stats, you're obviously going to want, for this, accuracy isn't as important depending on if you have another hero that can land that decreased attack. So accuracy is going to be down at the bottom, but you're definitely going to want your speed up. She's on your team to still boost the speed of everybody else, and you want that to happen as frequently as possible. Then you're going to want a mix of defense percentage and HP percentage, and then if you can spare it, because it will be, I think, a later priority, but then you're probably going to want to put attack because her skills are based off of that attack stat. So that's going to be your rundown on your stats and your substats. So I hope that helps. Now let's watch some footage of Clan Boss. Alright, so what you're about to take a look at is going to be an Ultra Nightmare run on Clan Boss. So, as you saw a second ago, I did increase her accuracy, and it's really going to be, it's not quite enough to run consistently on Ultra Nightmare, but I was using her on regular Nightmare, and I even did a brutal run or two with her to kind of see her abilities. So, for accuracy for Ultra Nightmare, you're going to want to bring that accuracy up even more. But if you have a team like this where, I mean, Jareg has his decreased attack on his A1, she has it on the A2, and Martyr has it on the A3, like, you're not dropping that off on this team anytime soon. So if you don't need that, you can replace that with more speed instead of more accuracy, because more than likely you're going to have to kind of make some calls between the two. So what do you need? It's going to be about your team specifically. If you don't need that decreased attack, make her even faster. Because what is she here for on this team? She's here so that she can help your team go as fast as possible. She's going to boost the turn meter, she's going to give you your increased speed buff, and she's going to have the cool ability to hopefully decrease the cooldown on some of your heroes. That's going to be really important. It's just an extra bit of damage and an extra bit of survivability that you can add to your team, because she does get to do, you know, that for her A1. Again, and if you need her for another option, you can use her as a great replacement for somebody to help bail you out if you're struggling to keep decreased attack up the entire fight. So if you had to ask me between her and Apothecary, like, who would you use? Like, I would say it really depends on your team. If you need to land decreased attack more consistently and you need that up the entire fight, and go Golden Reaper. She's great for that. I think she can really add to your ability to survive longer with that. But if you have no problem with that, Apothecary is pretty good if you need the heal on a specific hero. That can give you some options to run some different gear, so Apothecary might be better in that situation. Nonetheless, Golden Reaper is a pretty good hero. She's going to dominate in arena if you can get her speed up high enough, and in Clan Boss, I think she does just fine. So I'm going to fast forward here to the end. I'm going to show you the kind of damage that we dealt. Once Martyr dies, you'll see that we did about 14.56 million damage on the Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss with this team. Now, Golden Reaper did not put up a lot of that damage. Dracomorph obviously did, because Dracomorph is insane. And Bulwark is just fun with his extending of the debuffs. but I just like Bulwark. I like to show him off from time to time because I really enjoy him. He's just a good rare hero. But as you can see, she didn't do a ton of that damage, but she did help. She's a support hero. She's there to support your team, make them go faster, decrease their cooldowns, and maybe even bail you out of a tough situation. So that's really Golden Reaper in a nutshell. If you have any questions about her, you can comment below and let me know. If you got something out of this video and it was helpful to you, hit like and hit subscribe, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all of the support that you guys have given me. Until next time, peace out.